Hi Leos. So this is the second Leo reading for the channel. Just gonna start out with some harmonica notes. Gold. Gold is Leo colors, and like warm colors like oranges and deep yellows and things like that. Let's get a Celtic cross for Leo, the fixed fire. Celtic cross for Leo, the fixed fire. Celtic cross for Leo, the fixed fire. Haste. I'm putting those back in. That might have been my hastiness. Rushing in with truth. That's gotta come through. Neutral. Unless that's how Leos are feeling right now, that scattered energy. But I'll get them to flip out a little cleaner. I'll just pick. Yeah, that's cross. So Leo, this is what's coming up for you before you even start your Celtic cross. So I'm going to just pull the Celtic cross, but it's interesting that sort of Leo energy is just kind of popping out right now. We're about to enter Leo season, and got the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. If cards fall out, I don't like to put them back in, but that was just like too many to fall out. But then these 3 did come up, but they all came up upright, like just like wanted me to read them, and didn't really feel comfortable putting them into the cross. So maybe I'll just do a cleaner reading on this. But so the 9 of Swords in the recent past, maybe coming out of a feeling of dealing with some sort of a major disappointment, deciding to use that energy and sort of look at the things that you have been growing with the 7 of Pentacles, the ways that you've been manifesting your abundance, and putting in the work to get the type of abundance that you want. So coming out of this painful energy and working on it. And then in the near future with the Wheel of Fortune here, which is fixed energy like Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, of course. And the Wheel of Fortune is about like luck and karma and things kind of coming around full circle. So it looks like coming out of a period of painful energy, doing some kind of work on your skills, career, on the way that you develop meaning and abundance in your life. And this is interesting. I'm feeling like a lot of stuff is going on today. And it's a Sagittarius moon, which I really love Sagittarius moons, but they can be like heavy and a lot can be sort of going on. And so coming out of this period of disappointment into working and looking at the things that you have built up for yourself, and resulting in karma and possibly good luck and really completion of some sort of major cycle in your life. So I'm interested in why that kind of popped out right now. But just to get a regular Celtic cross for you, Leo, maybe I'll just do 4. Fire energy. Fire energy with the Leo reading and with what's going on today. Just moving it. So this is really interesting because in your present energy you have the World. The World is about integration, completing a cycle. It's kind of what I wanted to say about that Wheel of Fortune that just popped up, but really one's about completing cycles and integration and standing in that fixed energy, similar to the Wheel of Fortune. So like stability, grounding down. You put it on the bottom of the deck. So both the Wheel of Fortune and the World card are fixed energy. That's so interesting. I didn't realize that. So this fixed energy of creating stability for yourself, doing the work that you need to come from a stable place in order to grow, which is what the Tiger Eye gem is about. So your present energy is really the World, integrating a cycle, major arcana card, completing something major, creating a sense of stability for yourself. In the challenge energy is the Three of Cups. So challenging can be getting together with friends, celebrating. This can also mean in a relationship, like a third-party situation. But really, like a challenge right now looks to be the celebratory, kind of somewhat of a Leo energy. The Cups is Cancer season, the water. Really nurturing, emotional, creative energy, but really about celebrating and getting together with people. So interesting that would be sort of a challenge for you right now. Maybe a wanting to do that, or having people getting together doesn't always mean everything's going to go smoothly. So this getting together celebratory energy might feel like a challenge for you right now. Maybe you're not feeling like you're in that energy or something like that. In the recent past, the Two of Wands in the reverse. So some sort of delays in your planning. So a delay in a plan that you wanted to have done, or that you had planned for yourself in the recent past. Or so feeling a delay, but now moving into a cycle of integration. And in the near future is the Two of Cups in the reverse. Oftentimes, most simplistically, this can be seen as like a breakup of a romantic relationship, but maybe just a breakup of any kind of a relationship, maybe like a reevaluation of a relationship, but this one is sort of more about pairs. So some sort of celebration as a challenge, moving into the Three of Cups, into the Two of Cups in the reverse. Maybe some sort of feeling like a relationship that is meaningful to you is not going as you had hoped it would be. It could mean like an actual break in that relationship, or it could mean like a renegotiation or a rethinking of some type of relationship with another person. I see that more as that, like a person relationship, than as a creative opportunity. Or you in partnership with some creative opportunity might not be working out as you had hoped, but this could also mean like a relationship, including one that's familial or platonic, or with colleagues, etc. In the above energy, what you are consciously experiencing, what other people might be seeing of you, or at least what you are feeling of yourself, is the Five of Cups. We have a lot of cup, water, Cancer energy in here. The Five of Cups is about kind of crying over spilled milk, and I don't mean to say that nonchalantly, but this person is, crying about these few cups that are spilled, not realizing that there are still a few cups that are filled behind them, and that there's a bridge that they can get over to this town, that they're feeling like lonely, like some sort of love has been lost, and not realizing that there is still love there to be gained. So maybe that is what you're experiencing in the objective energy. And what is going on for you down below is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. So feeling like in your subconscious, in what you may or may not be aware of, but what you're maybe hiding from other people, even if you're aware of it yourself, is the Nine of Cups in the reverse, which is energy that is like feeling like you have not had some sort of a wish fulfilled. And again, more of that Cups energy. So a lot of like emotional energy going on for you right now, probably, Leo, but a feeling in the subconscious that there's some sort of wish fulfillment that hasn't been met. Your advice right now is the Judgment. The Judgment card is really about it's a major arcana card, so you do have something, large going on here with the wheel, the Wheel of Fortune, the World, and the Judgment card coming up. So something sort of big for your kind of life cycle is happening right now. This is about sort of like answering the call. So whatever you think your call is, this can be, the advice is to really follow that, and to follow what seems to be like the right answer to you. Really, that's not a very easy thing to say, to define, but in this energy of the Judgment card, it's sort of like it's answering the call, and some sort of like divine intervention is going on. So maybe just kind of like letting this process happen, and just going in the direction of what feels like that energy is moving towards. with the wheel, with the world, this integration, just allowing that cycle to keep completing and to keep happening. The energy surrounding you right now is the Lovers card in reverse, so that's kind of interesting with the near future being the Two of Cups in the reverse. So this can be, the Lovers card can be really just about love of all kinds, but it's also about choice and temptation. In the reverse, it can kind of be about difficulty making a choice, difficulty resisting temptation, whether that's you or somebody around you. But it can also just mean like not necessarily feeling like in this love energy of being able to meld heart and mind, being able to find partnership between the senses of our duality, and maybe feeling a little bit, and that can feel like stressful, I guess, when we're not able to sort of integrate the different sides of who we are. And this might mean that there's been some sort of temptation around you that you're having trouble avoiding, or a choice about something major. Again, this is another major arcana card, so something big universally for you is happening here. And so in this is difficulty with choices, difficulty with temptation, not necessarily sure which way to go, having trouble sort of integrating the two sides. The fear right now is the Empress in the reverse, so this can be a fear of losing losing touch with your feminine energy, losing abundance, losing your Empress, losing a sense of, in the upright, the Empress is fertile and abundant and caring and confident and really just grounded down in the feminine energy. This can be just a fear of not being able to get in touch with that sense of abundance, with that feminine energy, with your Empress, however you would describe your Empress. But really, I like to focus my readings on the self rather than bringing in other relationships, because I think that people can make connections where maybe the connection isn't really due. So I like to focus my readings on the self. So maybe this is a fear of loss of the ability to ground into your feminine, creative, abundant energy, or the loss of somebody else, especially, with this Two of Cups in the near future in reverse, and the Lovers card in the reverse as well. And then the outcome of all of this is this delay. So in the recent past, you were feeling like a delay around your planning. The Three of Wands, the outcome of kind of what's going on here, can mean that you're feeling like a delay in moving forward in some sort of growth or progression. And this is the energy, if nothing were to change based on like your reading, if any of this resonates with you without like a rethinking or trying to change things, because we always have free will, there is an amount of destiny and everything like that, but there's also a choice. So if nothing were to kind of change about anything here, the Three of Wands in the reverse can be like feeling a delay on growth or travel or moving somewhere that you had wanted to move. And so it seems like there's certainly a sense of disappointment in this reading. You are going through and completing a really major cycle, and whether or not that feels good, quote unquote, good or bad or positive or negative at any time, it's a necessary part of our growth. And stagnancy is really, that fixed energy is really what you want to avoid more than anything. So the Sagittarius moon is the mutable fire, so changing, transforming. Leo is the fixed fire. Maybe this Sagittarius moon can be sort of moving you into allowing that transformation to take place, because it's comfortable to stay where we're at, but unfortunately, or fortunately, just what it is as it ever was. The only constant is change. So I'm feeling some sort of delay in like some type of journey or progress that you're making, but that doesn't mean that you're not making progress as well. And so that's kind of like just fixed energy there for Leo. So to get some color cards, I'll bring this reading for Leo, some color cards. I'll bring this reading for Leo. It's a major cycle here for sure. The Empress, also a major arcana card. A lot of water energy. Especially as we come to the end of Cancer season, move into Leo season. I think that makes sense to really be feeling the water on the transition. So for Leo and the color cards, I'll get two more. Leo and the color cards, can I get two more? Leo and the color cards, can I get two more? I feel like I wasn't supposed to pull this one, but I did, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it after the ones that seem to come out a little bit more naturally. So energy, ideation, and fear with the Prism Oracle cards. First what came out was energy. That's big Leo energy. A lot of the, in fire in general, but Leo too. Energy, when this card appears, it asks you to pay attention to the energy that you've either recently cultivated or would like to cultivate. Tap into the momentum of something that you've been working on. Get excited about a new project or even a seemingly mundane task like cleaning your home, Cancer season. Now's the time to pursue whatever has been calling you. And this is the call here with the Judgment card. So whatever is calling to you, and you probably know what that is, I think people should always be responsible. But if something feels like it's calling to you over and over again, and you can do that in a way that keeps kind of you safe, in the broadest strokes of what safe means, now is the time to pursue whatever has been calling you and using that Leo energy. You get ideation. That looks like that looks orange to me, but sometimes it might be pink. This looks more orange to me, but this is in the pink. This card is about the growth of ideas and new projects in your life. Now is the time to focus on creating a safe space for your creative endeavors. And this could be creative energy too, as well as emotions with all the water. This moment is just for you and your project. Let your ideas grow while you nurture and care for them. Enjoy this special time. So maybe you have a project that you're wanting to work on, and now is a good time to be answering that, because in the cards that came through before that popped out at me, that Seven of Pentacles was about growth and abundance. This card that popped out, that I was like, should I read it or not? So maybe that there's a new project that you're working on to deal with or heal from, or in moving through a disappointment and moving towards that Wheel of Fortune, towards that good karma, towards that destiny, because the advice here is to answer your call. And fear, and the fear card makes sense because you're coming out of some sort of major disappointment. You're feeling like there's a lack of wish fulfillment right now in something that you're doing, and you're experiencing some sense of disappointment, even though there are still, there's still cups there for you to drink from. So there does seem to be some fear energy in here. So this card is a call to summon the courage to face your fears while honoring them at the same time. Moments like these are often the most definitive in life and act as the greatest teachers and catalysts for positive change. What is it that's holding you back? Why are you afraid? Sitting with these questions will help you tap into your power and greatest potential. Acknowledging and moving past your fears can bring you into greater sense of alignment with yourself and the world around you. And the world around you, your present energy. And this is also kind of about this having trouble maybe integrating those two sides of you, home and work life, or creative and personal life. So fear about not being able to do this integration. But why are you afraid? So sitting with that and thinking about it can help you get tuned in by integrating the senses of duality, so that you can continue to move through this process, maybe toward in working out a creative or sort of emotional part of your life that you're working with here. So we're going to get a couple of tea cards for Leo to help bring this reading. Oh, and abundance. So abundance is a green card. Where are you at? Abundance. While this card depicts coins, it's important to remember that abundance can come in many forms, like love, friendship, career, and family, not just monetary abundance. This card asks you to recognize and celebrate the abundance that is in your life, along with the deep sense of gratitude that comes along with it. So Leos always have abundance. They're the heart, they're the spine, they're courage. It's obviously that you've been putting work into something and watching to see the fruits of your labor grow, and moving towards this, this major cycle integration and sense of karma and good luck for yourself. So, and abundance can mean so many things. So if this creative project isn't necessarily going to get you money, maybe that means that there's other ways of creating your abundance too. And maybe by that process, money comes, or, maybe it's an end in itself. So working on abundance. If I could get a couple tea leaves, please. Tea leaves. There we go. So first we have mountain, major challenge to overcome. So it does seem like you're going through something right now, but that's okay because mountains are to be expected. Oh, and this is, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Leo, with that heart, you know, Leo can be the gift, but you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And then you got two happiness cards here. So even though it looks like there's stress and like delay going on here and trying to like work through a cycle, you get the happiness card itself and then flowers, which are also indicative of happiness. And you know, you got the sun there for the Leo card. So there is happiness to be found in here. You're obviously going through some stuff, but just this is sort of like destiny kind of energy, whatever way it's going right now. So think about moving towards some kind of a creative project, maybe, or a new kind of sense of love, but working on integrating your two sides so that you can be part of the full world. And answer that call, whatever that call is. As long as it's keeping you, you know, relatively safe, you can answer that call. It might really be the time to do it. I got a Rumi card for Leo. Rumi card for Leo, just check what I say first. I got a Rumi card for Leo, check what I say first. I got a Rumi card for Leo, check what I say first. Beyond Death, Life. Rumi card. This is the first one I've seen. This is number 1. Starting out. Maybe you're coming to the end of a cycle because you're about to start out a new one. Footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. I'm calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen. Within your heart, Leo. There I speak. My voice rings true. You are urged beyond what has been. The time has come, lay it to rest now. This ending comes as grace to free you from all that you have known, for what you have known is now too small for your soul. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity. I am certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light that you are, that burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity, Leo, the light. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, also can be associated with Leo, the sun, casting aside its layers as tender as a lover, with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth, as pure, beyond all experience, untainted, ever innocent, Leo. As a pure vessel, stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love. The soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness, and wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of the soul incarnating in this world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The older the soul, the closer it is to the realization of divine oneness, and the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. Maybe that's this difficulty of integrating here with the Lovers in reverse. So here you are, an old soul at the edge of something you have known, at the cusp of an ending and the beginning. Perhaps you are already, the ending and the beginning, the world card and the wheel. Perhaps you are already in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you are fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny, and you got your fear card here. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way, so that love may grow, all these cups energies. There is no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. There may be pain, there may be grief and loss, there may be uncertainty and even insecurity, yet you have a heart big enough, Leo, to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your clumsy, inspired travails into new life. I was feeling like clumsy at the beginning of this reading. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you, guiding every unfolding moment of your life journey. All these major arcana cards is like there's definitely something just like divine and big happening here, whatever it feels like. No matter how dark it may first appear, the divine is with you in unflinching generosity, with compassion, and with fierce passion, Leo, for your blossoming into all that you are, all that you can be. So what must you do to receive this divine grace, this new life as you finish up this cycle? You must be willing to face death. It may be that death has come to you in the form of loss of a beloved one, with this Lovers in the reverse and this Two of Cups in the reverse. Something feels lost. a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair or depths in your grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore, old identities having shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, mere ego masks, too small for the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. So maybe you just are feeling small and you're not small, and that's what this is. So death can be like an internal process. A lot of people say a helpful thing to do sometimes is to learn what it means to die before you die, and then you don't fear death as much, and then you can live your life. Your death may be a choice to let go, to take a step in a new direction, to move house, to end a relationship, to change career, or to step away from a religious or philosophical tradition or a group or a teacher. Your death may not feel as though it has come by choice at all. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other circumstance changing when you wish with all your heart that it would not. Your transition through this death may be triggered by an inner feeling that you cannot quite pin down. Nonetheless, it powerfully propels you away from what has been and towards untapped possibilities, perhaps even towards great confusion, as you encounter life in a new way, feeling even somewhat unprepared and uncertain as to what may lie ahead of you now. You're a beautiful, blazing soul having a human experience that defies explanation and opens you up to divinity. That's what's happening in your life now, whether the death is obvious and painful to you or whether you are uncertain as to how it is yet showing up in your life. Now is not the time for fear or hesitation. Focus on what is becoming whilst honoring what is no longer to be. So yeah, there's some change here that a fixed sign probably isn't gonna, fixed signs aren't the best with change necessarily, but this Sagittarius moon, this mutable fire, is really bringing that in to just at least acknowledge for you that like this is happening, and whatever change this is, it is divinely guided. Absolutely, there's just so many major arcana cards here, and there's no need to fear. Even if you do feel fear, that's okay, but there's no need to fear, because you're really, what all of these readings always say to me is that you're never alone, because there's something like divinely happening bigger. And this reading ends on 22, which is a master builder number. And so you're going through what looks like a lot here, but you do have happiness ahead too. Like happiness is always with Leos, and that big, beautiful, light energy. And just as I look back at the clock, it's 27 minutes, 22 seconds. That love and that joy of Leo, that courage, is always in you. So even if you feel fear, there's nothing to fear, because this is just a divinely guided process, and it's bringing you a cycle's end so that a new one can begin. So thank you for joining, Leo, and we'll see you soon. Bye.